And keep in mind, these numbers are very accurate.
Jeff is saying they're accurate. Why? Because he bought some?
These numbers are very accurate.
Science doesn't know. And so, yes, of course, Jeff Nippard is wrong, and it's just so satisfying for me to prove it. Another video starring none other than Jeff Nippard, the DEXA scam grifter. Jeff Nippard, the science-based lifter. Jeff, he claims to be a science-based lifter, and so he buys a $160,000 toy. It's called a DEXA scam. And so Jeff, I've already seen the video. He's going to claim that his DEXA scam is about as accurate as an MRI machine, of which costs $1 million. I asked if I could buy one, and they said you need to have all kinds of doctorate things, and there's all kinds of regulations. You just can't have it. Perhaps it's because of the radiation. DEXA scam is only $160,000. I mean, it's play money when you have a macro factor. Jeff is trying to bamboozle you that this is the new golden standard. Because he brought in some people to get a DEXA scam, that this is 100% accurate because it's based on science. As if my laser eyes aren't more accurate than a DEXA scam. Now, remember, Jeff Nippard's a dropout dentista, and so he couldn't get a bunch of girls to lay down on a bed and open up their mouths for him, and so he decided to bring them in for a DEXA scam. Damn! Let's read the comments, of which every second comment is about Coach Greg, but Jeff has blocked Coach Greg from making comments. And so my comments, although I can see them personally, no one else can see them. And so thank you, Jeff. Jeff Nippard, comment deleter, comment blocker. Who else feels Greg is in the process of filming his next video? Doucette is really Gregging his calipers right now. Douche Gregetti is already making a video saying Jeff is wrong. Skullface, skullface. And so, yes, of course, Jeff Nippard is wrong, and it's just so satisfying for me to prove it. You made a video for Greg Doucette on purpose, did you, Jeff? I actually previously thought Jeff was somewhat intelligent, like that he had an IQ above 100, but now it's all making sense. I don't think Jeff even knows how to read a study. I think he has people who he pays to tell him a bunch of bullshit, and he doesn't even realize that they're scamming him. Another S-tier video. Does S stand for sucks? Jeff's video is spewing a bunch of bullshit based on bullshit. And what has Dorian Yates taught us about bullshit?
A bag of shit that gets bigger is just a bigger bag of shit.
In this video, I'm going to take you through the full range from 50% body fat all the way down to 5%. Using real-life people that I measured myself.
He might know a thing or two about cavities, like I had a sore in the back of the mouth right here. He might know a thing or two about that, but we're talking about Jeff Nippard. How would he possibly know what body fat percentages look like?
This is Joe. He's a 36-year-old dad. This is what his life is like day to day.
I had low testosterone. Like my free testosterone was like 90.
And so this man, you can see he has about 50% body fat. We don't need a DEXA scam to tell us this. We don't need a BIA. And because his testosterone levels are extremely low, 90 nanograms per deciliter, he most likely needs enclomiphene and or testosterone. And so if you were to go to, for example, Algo RX, doctors could prescribe him enclomiphene and or testosterone and make him feel that much better. When you have very low levels of testosterone, your metabolism is going to be lower. You're going to have less motivation, less energy, less muscle mass, and it's just harder to lose weight. And so why make it an uphill battle? Now, on top of that, when you're at 50% body fat, maybe, just maybe, you might want to consider something like, I don't know, like Ozempic, a GLP, perhaps a tirzepatide, and in the future, maybe even retatrutide. And so if you're interested in that, of course, you get to Algo RX. I'm a part owner. I know what I'm doing. And you get yourself 10% off. Now, if you don't want to go through all that, you can just get my freaking cookbook. It's that easy. Code Greg, 15% off.
So your body fat percentage was 45.3.
No way.
That's lower than you thought.
That's actually,
Yeah, as in no way, as in it's clearly higher than that. Why are we fist pumping now? Oh, it's 45%. The BIA had you at 49. Coach Greg's later highs, they have you at 50. And so You're off the hook. You're leaner than you were. How does the number matter? It's lower than you thought. How is that good? How is that bad? How does that matter? Look in the freaking mirror. Well, I thought my body fat was 50% and it's actually 45. Yay! And so what? He doesn't have to diet harder than last time. He doesn't have to do 150 minutes of cardiovascular exercise a week. Just because the number isn't or is what you want it to be doesn't mean anything whatsoever. Science doesn't know. If you look in the mirror and you look like this, I don't care if the number came back at 35% or 85%, it's all bad.
He said he wants to get that down to 25% by the end of the year, and I'm gonna help keep him accountable with that. So you need to be around 100 kilos, so that's about 220 pounds.
My suggestion is he gets in 150 minutes of zone 2 cardiovascular exercise per week, and I would in fact suggest more. Perhaps he can start with that, and he gets my freaking cookbook. And let's continue to get your blood work down. Let's work with an endocrinologist or at least a doctor who can prescribe you enclomiphene or testosterone, because 90 nanograms per deciliter ain't doing you any favors. And so please go seek out medical help.
Not everyone at this level had the same goal though. This is Daniel, and he had one of the coolest motivations for losing weight that I've ever heard.
Bro, again, 50% body fat. I mean, you can throw out whatever number you want. When you're 370 pounds at 50% body fat, that would mean half of your body is fat. Half of 370, it's 185 pounds. My body fat with 0 pounds of fat is under 185. And so, bro, most likely over 50% body fat.
I want to skydive.
You want to skydive?
Yeah, I want to do this.
Okay, that's a new one.
Of all the motivational factors in the world, there's perhaps not any worse than this. This is useless motivation. What happens when you get down to 220 and you skydive? Can you now gain all the weight back? I skydove did, and now I don't need to diet. I mean, what about living 20 years longer? You know what? My motivation is I want to be able to see my downstairs when I go to the bathroom. I want to be able to put it into somebody. What did he say? You know how hard it is to play around with all that beef when you know what I'm saying. Guys, get it out of the way. I'm sorry, the truth hurts.
The weight limit for skydiving is 220 to 240 pounds. You're gonna come back here, get on the DEXA scan, and then you're gonna book your skydiving, all right? I'm not doing it with you though.
He ain't going to skydive with you. Jeff working with someone to skydive. Jeff won't take your picture. Won't take your picture.
For long-term weight loss, I think having a purpose that speaks to you is crucial, especially if you want to lose a lot of weight, which can feel overwhelming.
You know what I say? Halfway there. He wants to get down to 220 pounds. He weighs 370. That's 150 pounds. I'm going to say, here's your goal. Let's get you down 75 pounds. Let's get you under 300. That is an excellent goal. Losing 150, that is a daunting task. A year and a half, that is so far away that he might not even think it's possible. And trust me, he might get halfway there and he might quit. And so why not have a goal? I'm going to get down to under 300 pounds. Once you tackle that goal, you can then say, do I have another goal? Maybe it's to get down to 250, halfway there. Continue to get halfway to your goal, and eventually you might actually reach it.
So it's just like brushing your teeth, right? Like it becomes something you do. You build that trust in yourself over time that you're gonna actually execute on those habits.
All this is bullshit. I'm sorry. This is all nonsensical bullshit. It's nothing like, exercise is nothing like brushing your teeth. Drop out dentista. You exercise because you enjoy it. It's the enjoyment. You don't do anything for the rest of your life if it's hard and you don't like it. If you're just working out and you hate it, for example, if you're going for runs and you don't like running, how many years, decades do you think you're going to do it? Probably a zero. A zero! What if you enjoy racing bikes? Like Coach Greg. I just raced 2 races back to back. First in the first race and second in the next. Why did I do that? As I just got off the plane from testing DEXA scams out in Ontario. I do it because I love it. Couldn't wait to get back to racing bikes. Now, if you're thinking, oh, I got to get up this morning and I got to go do cardio. Oh my God, I don't like this. Oh, I got to get home from work and I got to go to the gym. How many years do you think you can do that? Probably none. You need to keep experimenting with activities until you find one that you not just like, but that you love, so that you'll do it for the rest of your life.
I'm always tired. Like, I'm not like I want to sleep all day, but like I'm always fatigued.
To put on your shoes is like, it's just uncomfortable.
Anything over 50, heck, even 40, that to me is being morbidly obese. And morbid, it sounds exactly what it's like. It risks of death. Morbid. If you're this fat, you need to go on a diet. You need to put the fork down. You need to start doing cardio, and you need to start losing weight today, not tomorrow, right now. It's not easy. If it was, these people would all be doing it. Their genetics, they suck. Hey, I'm being honest. If they didn't have shitty ass genetics, they wouldn't be 55% body fat. If you paid me $1 billion and said, Greg, you got to get to 55% body fat, it's $1 billion. Make it $1 trillion. I can't do it. My genetics don't suck bad enough to get to 50+% body fat, but his do. He's probably not even trying to be fat. You think this bro is like Homer Simpson eating donut after donut, force feeding blocks of butter down his throat to get fat? No.
I get 15 minutes to gain a pound or I gotta face another day at work.
It just slowly creeps up at him. He has too many fat cells and too much ghrelin making him hungry. Now, if you go to AlgoRx, you buy, for example, Ozempic or Tirzepatide, it's literally easy. I know that fat people, people who are obese, don't like to hear the word easy when it comes to losing weight because they then don't have an excuse. When you have an excuse to be fat, you feel good about yourself. Oh, I'm not fat, I'm big boned. It's my mama. She overfed me cookies. I'm sad. My girlfriend broke up with me. These are all stupid excuses, and you need to do better. Perhaps you can then just get GLP Max. This reduces your appetite from an 8 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. That literally could be enough. Or what about GO2 Max? Improve your cardio. Or maybe you don't need pills. What about a better diet, the Circle Diet? Or the cookbook? Oh, you don't have any money at all. What about my free diet and training program? Giving away over 110,000 copies. Free? Did you click the link in description? Did you get my free diet and training program? Oh, Coach Greg doesn't do anything. He just makes millions and millions of dollars. It never helps us out. Did you watch any of my videos? Now, you have $0 and you've already gotten my diet and training program for free. What else can you do? Just show up, stop eating so much shit, eat more fruits and vegetables, and get in some protein. This is literally easy. Now, did I say you can get your dream physique? Nope. Halfway there.
This is Himanish, and he measured in at 40.7% body fat on BIA.
I gotta stop you right here. Why is Jeff even showing BIA? I mean, does it stand for baby's inaccurate assumptions? Did you know that I did this test and I'm at 19.8%? You guys see the guns? Does this look like a guy with 19.8% body fat? And I'm not making this shit up. I literally did this. I paid $80 for the test. 19.8%. And so why does the number matter? Do you think I felt bad? Oh, it's 19.8. Oh, I better go on a diet. I better go on a mini cut. No, I didn't care. If it's 1%, 100%, negative 0.33% body fat like Ronnie Coleman, none of it matters.
And keep in mind, these numbers are very accurate.
The baby inaccurate assumption and the DEXA scam, Jeff is saying they're accurate. Why? Because he bought some? Those toys? The toys were accurate. Says who? Jeff Nippard? The science-based lifter?
Once he really... That was tragic.
Did he, in fact, ask Solomon to proofread this video? I'm pretty sure that he did not. And so how do we know it's actually true? How much weight does Jeff's opinion matter at this point? Does it matter at all? What's he going to do? Quote some study? Brad Schoenfeld et al., this guy et al., says that it's the golden standard. It is not. The MRI is the golden standard. If it's a DEXA scam, it's a guess. If it's an what's the other acronym? IBA? If it's a BIA, it's a baby's guess. If it's Coach Greg's laser eyes, well, that's pretty freaking accurate. I'm not going to lie. My laser eyes, very accurate. Way more accurate than the DEXA scam and the IBA, but it's still not an MRI. Remember, I don't have laser vision. I can't actually see through.
I'm so lucky you see me naked all the time.
Exactly. Mepsigram, see her naked. I knew she was at 18.8%. DEXA scam had her at 13.7. DEXA scam also doesn't understand that when your woman has breast implants, you got to add about 1.5% body fat because the breast implants, it shows up as muscle, and so it skews out the analysis. Now, you would think if the machine was $160,000 that they could formulate an algorithm that includes the knowledge that there's breast implants in the person that's being scanned. Why can't it say, how many cc's are your breast implants, and figure that out into the calculation? Did you know that any woman with breast implants who gets a DEXA scan is going to have an inaccurate reading? Because if you had breast implants, the number's significantly higher. If you factor in male to female and you subtract 10, well, she's down to 3.7%.
Next time on Coach Greg.
Nope. 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 And no. No! Do you know how easy it is to be a 5? All you have to do is not be fat and you're at least a 6. If you show up and you're somewhat aight, you're at least a 6. No makeup, no friggin' hairdo done, no eyebrows did, no lipstick, none of that stuff. You're a 6 if you're not fat.